Yeah. Greetings, friends. Welcome to today's devotional. It comes to us from Psalm 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul makes its boast in the Lord. Let the humble hear and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears. Look to him and be radiant, so your faces shall never be ashamed. This poor soul cried and was heard by the Lord, and was saved from every trouble. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Happy are those who take refuge in him. O fear the Lord, you his holy ones, for those who fear him have no want. The young lions suffer want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Come, O children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Which of you desire life and covets many days to enjoy good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against evildoers, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and rescues them from all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord rescues them from them all. He keeps all their bones, not one of them will be broken. Evil brings death to the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be condemned. The Lord redeems the life of his servants. None of those who take refuge in him will be condemned. So another psalm when David is facing the trials of life, and it seems that often, well, it's not always the psalms that David writes are not all about all the trials and troubles that he faced in his life. There are obviously prayers or psalms of thanksgiving and praise, and this one has a little bit of both, the thanksgiving and the praise of God in the midst of the trials and troubles. And I've mentioned before the faithfulness and the trust that David has in God, that even in the midst of trials, he is still praising and honoring God. And in this psalm, one of the things that stands out for me is in verse 11, "Come, O children, and listen to me, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord." And it's this reference to us as children. This is basically, this part of the psalm is God speaking to the people of Israel, calling them his children. And we too, as God's redeemed, are his children, his beloved. And that is a great way to think about our relationship with God. When we're small, when we're children, we trust completely in our parents or our guardians, whoever's taking care of us, to always be there to hear us when we cry, to rescue us from whatever trouble we're in, to be there to pick us up when we fall down and put band-aids on our wounds and scrapes and things like that. And when we're with our parent as a small child, there's no place else where we feel more comfort or more safety or more loved than we do as a child. We have not been corrupted by the trials of the world. We've not become cynical or pessimistic about the way things really are in life. And as we get older, and as we've striven for independence in our lives as children, we get older and become more and more dependent on ourselves for all things. And we don't reach out to God as much as we probably should in a childlike way when things are going well, or even when we have great things to share with a parent. A child brings home a drawing or a macaroni artwork from kindergarten or first grade, and they bring it to their parent and want to show it to them because they're so proud of what they've done. And the parent also beams with pride in this piece of art, if you will, because it's come from the child, and the child is wanting to share that with their parent. And that's the kind of relationship that God wants from us and makes possible for us because of Christ, because he broke down the wall of sin and allows us to be vulnerable and be ourselves completely with God, as a child is completely themselves with a parent. There's nothing that should or can withhold or need to withhold from our parents, and we can always find refuge and safety and comfort and security in God if we approach our relationship with Him in a childlike way. That's hard to do as adults because we become so independent and self-reliant that it's hard to go back to that childlike state. But it's possible. And so think of God as that good Father in our lives who's always there, always waiting, always wanting to hear how you're doing, is always there to pick you up and lift you up, always there to provide you with a place of safety and comfort in the midst of fears and trials, and cares so deeply for us that He was willing to go to a cross for our sake. So that's our devotion for today. Tomorrow we have Psalm 35. Until then, be safe. Blessings to you all.